Previously on Talent Search Cymru. The callbacks got off to an incredible start, and our top 12 came out fighting for a place in our top 11.
Wow. That was unbelievable. You were not the same person from the auditions.
Because you really are something special, I believe.
That wasn't a competition performance then, that was watching you at your own show sort of thing.
And Ian was eliminated. Tonight, it's Inspired Artist Week. But tensions rise as Jaden falls ill.
Hi all, unfortunately Jaden won't be able to perform tonight. He's quite poorly, but as you can see he's resting well.
And Zoe leaves the competition. But tonight, the show must go on.
We're not expecting people at this point in the competition to come out and just take the roof off the building. This is not just the competition. A lot of people are aware of what Talent Search Cymru is with a development process.
You nailed that, you nailed it.
That was fantastic.
Who will make it to the top 10?
That a star is being born.
Never lay down, never give up. I am a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor. Even if I fall, I'll be up again, 'cause I'm a fighter. I am a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Ladies and gents, let's begin the show.
Can we please have the best of order and a massive round of applause up to the front for Venom! Round of applause for Venom, guys.
So tonight I'm doing something a little bit different. I don't have my piano with me. I'll be singing to backing track, and I'm not going to tell you yet what the song is.
What I'm noticing tonight is that there's no piano, which is going to be really different because I think everyone can agree. We've only ever seen you with a piano. How are you feeling about not having a piano? Does it feel weird?
A little bit, yeah.
It must feel a bit weird.
Yeah. But, no, I'm okay. I think it'll be all right.
But just give it everything you've got. Obviously, for us, it's just about seeing them improvements. So you show us what you got with this performance, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Pourquoi ce charme tout commence? Je ne suis qu'un être sans importance. Sans lui, je suis un peu parole. Je déambule seul dans le métro. Une dernière danse pour oublier ma peine immense. Je veux m'enfuir que tout commence. Oh, ma toute souffrance. Le ciel, le jour, la nuit, je danse avec le vent, la pluie. Un peu d'amour, un point de miel, je danse, 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 danse. Et dans la pluie, je cours, j'ai peur. Et ce monde tout vient là, dans tout Paris, je m'abandonne et je m'en d'espérance, c'est ce charmant dans l'absence. J'ai beau trimer, soit toi ma vie n'est comme des coquilles brillent, vide de sens. Je remue le ciel, le jour, la nuit, je danse avec le vent, la pluie, un peu d'amour, un point de miel et je danse, 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 je danse. Et dans la pluie, je cours, j'ai peur. Elle se montre tout revient là, dans tout Paris. je m'abandonne et je m'envole, je m'envole. Don't tout souffrance, don't subir toutes les souffrances. Écoute comment que tu monstre. Je suis un enfant du monde. Je vois mieux le ciel, le jour, la nuit. Je danse avec le vent, la pluie. Pour amour, je miel et je danse, 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 danse. Et dans la bruit, je cours et je pars. Est-ce mon tour, bien là, tout là, dans tout Paris, je m'abandonne, je m'envole, je m'envole.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Oui, je parle français.
You were moving a lot more and you like had a really captivating stage presence then. I mean, you really got into the song as well. You focused on your voice a lot more, which Joey alluded to me a minute ago. Like you were focused on your voice and like you could see that you were just bossing it, really just taking over. You showed a lovely range there as well. You went a little bit deeper in some bits and a bit more of a falsetto towards other bits, and I feel like you just kind of showed like what you could do vocally. I thought it was a really strong performance, and it's my favorite performance of yours so far. So well done.
Venom, wow, that was so captivating. I think, especially singing in a different language, it is difficult to try and hold your audience when we don't understand what you're saying. And you managed to do that really well. I was a little bit nervous without the keyboard in the sense of performance-wise. I didn't know how you'd kind of handle not having that to kind of rely on to show off a little bit. But you were moving your arms, you were really getting into it, and your performance was actually really good. I actually loved, I think, like Dex said, it was definitely your best performance, I think. I think maybe the keyboard, and I know you're self-taught, and I think it's fabulous, but I think sometimes it was restricting your abilities as a singer because you weren't able to kind of go any further with it, you know?
Venom, that was a complete transformation. And look, I still, like I've said to you before, that in terms of percentage of where you're at, I still don't think we're at the full epiphany of what you can do. But I can promise you, from where you was, you've stepped it up by a huge mile. And sometimes when you're going through a process like this, it's about identifying what you could improve on first. And sometimes the best move to make is to, like you've said before with the piano, this is self-taught. And we could see there was elements in what you've been showing us over the first few weeks that still need to be improved, how you control the voice and the piano at the same time without one of them dropping off. This made a massive difference because we really got to see what you could do full focused with your voice without any piano. And I know, like for you, it might have been a bit like, oh my God, this is a bit different without the piano. But performance-wise, how you dress looks amazing. How you perform that song, to me, you put yourself in the front of this process now. That's how I feel with my art, because now I am identifying who you are. If I'm going to give you some advice from here on out, I honestly think we should drop the piano for a bit so we can focus on what you've just showed us there. Because I'm telling you now, that allowed you a voice to soar. You know, I'm not saying get rid of the piano for good, because you know it's part of who you are and what you do, and that's amazing. But with this competition heating up the way it is, the way it's narrowing down, you need to be on top form, especially vocally. So generally keep this in mind what you've done tonight now for future preference. But I'm telling you now, you've stepped it up by a clear mile. You should be really proud of yourself. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next up, can we please have the best of order and a massive round of applause for Grace? You had an absolute wonderful performance last week. I think you had so many compliments when you did Icy Red The attitude was there and everything. Tonight, I'm guessing you're doing something a little bit more simpler and a bit more softer. So we're going to see a complete different side to you. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
My feet are aching, and your back is pretty tight. And we've drunk a couple bottles, babe, and set our grief aside. The papers say it's doomsday, the button has been pressed. We're gonna nuke each other up, boys, till old Satan stands impressed. And here it is, our final night alive. And as the earth burns to the ground, oh girl, it's you that I lie with. As the end above love said, oh girl, it's you I want to be with. As the world gets in, you put your finest suit on, I paint my fingernails. Oh, we're going out in style, babe, and everything's on sale. We creep up on extinction, I pull your arms right in. I weep and say goodnight, love, while my organs pack it in. And here it is, our final night alive. And as the earth burns to the ground, oh girl, it's you that I lie with. As the end above love said, oh girl, it's you I want to be with. As the world fades in.
Thank you.
Another perfect performance, in my opinion. I mean, that song was a great choice for yourself, and you sung it beautifully all the way through.
Grace, that was incredible. You've not had a faulted performance since you've been here. But what I really loved about this week is that you completely stripped everything back. We know you can do the attitude and the performing and the dancing around, but to see you very vulnerable was just beautiful and it was stunning. It was my favourite performance of yours, to be honest. I think it showed elements of your voice that I've perhaps not seen as much. The vibrato on your voice is stunning when you hold
Thank
those
you.
notes. I'm just obsessed when you do that. So yeah, I was very captivated and it was a really, really good performance. I'd be so proud of myself if I was you.
You should be really, really proud of yourself because this is what the process is about, right? It's about stepping it up. To me, you just stepped it up. You improved vocally. Even though last week was absolutely fantastic, I felt like we got to see a little bit more rawness in what you can do tonight with this particular song choice. And that to me is an improvement because I'm getting to see a 13-year-old girl that hasn't experienced life to the fullest yet actually go up there and sing a song and make it sound like she has. And that's what you did there. You sounded raw. You sounded like you've experienced life. And you haven't yet. You're still a baby. You know, to us, you're a baby. But you're such a professional, and the way you handled that song was perfection. Honest to God, in terms of detail and how you use your voice, that was the most clarity I've seen come from you in this whole entire thing. And I don't know whether it was because the song was more vulnerable and you had more focus in the zone, but something happened tonight that took you to a complete different level. And you've been amazing today, but this to me was a spark. It was an absolute spark. You should be really proud. That's exactly how you come into Inspired Art this week. Well
Thank
done.
you so much.
Up next, it's Josh.
Tonight I'm going to be singing Why Don't You Call Me High by the Arctic Monkeys.
Right, Josh, Inspired Artist Week. Obviously, we've seen you do a little bit of Elton John so far in the competition. Tonight, you're going to be singing something a bit different, yeah? What are you going to be singing for us?
Why Don't You Call Me When You're High by the Arctic Monkeys.
The mirror's image tells me it's home time, but I'm not finished, 'cause you're not by my side. And as I arrived, I thought I saw you leaving, carrying your shoes. Decided that once again I was just dreaming, bumping into you. Now it's 3 in the morning, and I'm trying to change your mind. Left you multiple missed calls, and to my message you replied. Why don't you call me when you're high? Why'd you only call me when you're high? Somewhere darker, talking the same shite. I need a partner. Well, are you out tonight? It's harder and harder to get you to listen. More I get through the gears, incapable of making alright decisions and having bad ideas. Now it's 3 in the morning, and I'm trying to change your mind. Left you multiple missed calls, and to my message you replied. Why'd you only call me when you're high? Why'd you only call me when you're high? I can see you here wondering where am I? Sort of feels like I'm running out of time. I haven't found what I was hoping to find. You said you gotta be up in the morning, gotta have an early night. And you started to bore me, baby, why'd you only call me when you're high? Only ever phone me when you're high. Why'd you only ever phone me when you're high? Why'd you only ever phone me when you're high? Why'd you only ever phone me when you're high?
First of all, very strong performance. There's a quiet confidence about you, Josh. I mean, the way you control that stage then, you've got such a just aura of cool. There wasn't much range in that song, because there isn't much range in that song, but I do like the way you went to the falsetto at the end. That was a very nice touch and very nice finish. I like that.
Josh, I really enjoyed seeing something a bit different from you tonight. I obviously never thought you would come out with a backing track, so it was quite a nice surprise. I like that you've done something different, because I'll be honest, I think whilst I can see that Elton John and such artists inspire you, I think if you will continue to do that every week, it doesn't get so exciting. And I think you would quite easily drop interest in that. But I think bringing something new and fresh is actually a very good move to make, especially at this stage.
I think the only thing like Deck may have picked up why his comment was the way it was because that sort of song needs energy. It needs performance. And because that wasn't there, and it was just kind of staying in one place here, where as Arctic Monkeys, they wouldn't do that. They'd be around, cool. So it just needs a bit more performance. That's why it was, when you pick something with a bit of vibe like that, and a bit of energy, it needs to perform, So that's the only thing that was missing from it tonight. In terms of the song choice, I think you've done the right move. I think seeing it without the piano was a brilliant move too. I like the fact that you can alternate between the two. So I wouldn't, like I mentioned to Ben earlier on, I wouldn't say, just drop it completely. That's going to be down to you. Well done.
Thank you.
Can we please have the best of order and a massive round of applause up to the front for Laura! I understand you've learned a complete new song this week.
Yes.
Literally from fresh, which is not easy to do in a week. You've really got to dedicate your mind to get it right. What are you going to be singing for everyone tonight?
Oceans by the Hells song United. Sorry.
That's it. That's an absolutely beautiful song. It's such a raw piece of music. Just get into the song now, enjoy it, and don't hold back. All right? I'm really looking forward to this.
You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown. My feet may fail, and here I find you in the mystery, an ocean sea. My face will stand, and I will call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the wind. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters, wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters, wherever you would call me. And I will call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the wind. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine.
That was definitely an improvement from the callbacks and the audition. Straight away there, you can see that. You've got such a pretty voice, I find. And that song definitely matches your vocals, I think. I feel like we could have done a little bit more performance-wise, but it's a very slow song anyway, so I mean, there's not really much you can do with it, I guess. I mean, maybe more movement with the arms could have been an improvement there. I feel like, though, you struggled a little bit when you tried hitting certain notes. It's like your voice kind of strayed away from the path and kind of just strangled out. I don't know if that was a breathing control issue or whether you're going too high or too low, but that's obviously something to keep in mind. Like, if you feel like your voice is struggling, maybe just bring it back a notch or just focus on your breathing. But a massive improvement. I mean, massive. And to be honest, I think that was obviously your best performance, but it was a very strong performance, so well done.
Laura, I honestly think that was a monumental improvement from last week and the week before. I think this was a moment for you in the sense of being a starting point to something new, to your new journey. The song choice was perfect for your kind of tone and the way that you sing. It was just stunning. I know there are nerves. There are obviously little things that are picked up throughout that performance. I think, your hand was shaking, and I think you could then hear that in your voice. And where you went off, I know where Deck's talking about when you went off in that midsection. And I this is just my perception, and I could be wrong. It's almost like you want to give it, you want to get it out. But because you're so nervous and you're unsure of yourself, as soon as you do it, you're then pulling yourself straight back, and it's just throwing you off. And so I think the confidence is where we need to work, because that's where then I think you're going to flourish. But this was definitely a stand-up performance for you, and I think the start of your journey. So well done.
Laura, look, there were so many elements to that, which was the right direction of your voice. And I'm so glad that you went for the choice, because I can assure you now, from everything else that's been selected so far in the process, this was a completely different Laura. This is the Laura, like Lily just said, like a new starting point. This is exactly a new starting point. It wasn't perfect at the end. There was one note that dropped a little bit, but I can assure you now that what you've done tonight, you've come in and you have shown a huge improvement from where you was. So please be really proud of yourself because you've stepped it up big time. There is still more. There is still more to come, and everyone's on their own journeys, but I know that this is in the full of what Laura's capable of, and you know it in your gut. There's even more to come. So we're on the same wavelength. But let me tell you now, from where it was to where you can go, this was a huge step up. And that's the most important thing. I'm really, really proud of what you've just done up there. There were certain parts when your voice was on, it was absolutely heavenly. It was beautiful. When some of them notes were really pretty, obviously there were some that needed a bit more breathing. There was a couple of shaky ones, but the ones that were on were absolutely beautiful. So I know that there is talent here, and it is just waiting for it to just go through the roof, and it will happen. Well done. You've improved tonight, and you've showcased that to everyone in the room. You should be really proud of yourself, Laura.
Thank you so much.
Up to the front for Riley.
Tonight I'm going to be singing Never Enough by Lauren Allred.
Riley, Inspired Artist Week. How you feeling, buddy?
Nervous but really excited.
You can't be nervous now, man. I thought you was on. I thought you wanted to take our stage home with you. So obviously you've done some really, really big belty songs so far. And I suppose tonight there's nothing else of the exception of that. What are you going to actually sing for everyone tonight?
I'm going to be singing Never Enough by Lauren Allred.
So this is a big song, especially for a boy. This is a hard song to do. Give it everything you've got now, all right? And own it, all right?
I'm trying to hold my breath. Let it stay this way. Can't let this moment end. You set off a dream in me, getting louder now. Can you hear it echoing? Take my hand, share this with me, 'cause darling, without you, all the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Sounds of gold is still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me, for me. Never enough, never, never, never enough, never, never, never enough for me, for me, for me. Thank you.
That was fantastic. That was absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, like Joey said, that's a hard song to do for a boy, and you just absolutely took it and just threw out the park completely. My favourite performance of the night so far, I'm just going to say that right now. I mean, you just hit every note. I mean, when you held that note at the end as well, that was powerful, and then just went straight into a nice little falsetto just to finish her off, because why not? I mean, your stage performance as well, your stage presence, you were doing all the motions like I was watching a play as well as a concert. It was insane. I love you as a performer. I think you could go very far in this competition and afterwards. Well done. Very proud of yourself.
Riley, I am so proud of you with that performance. I seen you in the week and there were timing issues in the start. You nailed that. You nailed it. Well done. I honestly am just in awe of you every single week. You bring something new every week and you excel. You exceed yourself. This week you wanted to work more on your performance. You've done that. You moved around a bit. You looked comfortable up there. The vocals were just insane. There's nothing I can even say about them. You were incredible. You made the song your own. Obviously, that big note, the high note, you do that twice, and the original doesn't even do that. So honestly, you just blow my mind. I love how eager and keen you are to work and push, and you are so dedicated. I genuinely feel like you've got the potential to just tear this whole thing apart. You are very, very well deserved to be on that stage. Honestly, I'm speechless. You make me speechless. Well done.
We spoke about this song the other week, and I'm glad we've used it out of the way, because in a way I know to a lot of the listeners and people listening, it is a big song, but it's a song that we've heard so many times. You've got to do something special with it to make it work and make it stand out. And honest to God, now without any other thought, like in my mind, there's a few people who obviously seen Gracie Jane sing this song as her winning song back in her series. This was her winning song. And the way you sang the belts at the end on the Never Enough, them parts, without comparison, because that was exceptional too. But I can assure you that the ability was remarkable. And I was listening to you and I was like, oh my God, he's hitting these notes like Gracie did. And she's a girl. And that's why I know that you are special. Like I've said before, you were special. You're 11 years of age. Don't get me wrong. We're still learning with timing and breathing. That still needs to be improved. But in terms of your ability tonight, it absolutely shone. Timing came back imperfect and you went for those large notes. It was exactly what I said weeks ago when I first met you, that a star is being born. That is what's just happened in front of us. Well done.
Thank you.
So far, so good. Obviously, we got a couple more acts to come up tonight and perform, but I'm finding the first half of the acts absolutely remarkable so far. The development I'm seeing is just amazing. Deck, how are you feeling, buddy, about it?
Excited to see the rest. But I mean, we've seen a few good performances, amazing performances. We've seen everyone step her up in their own different ways, whether it's in the performance, the vocal ability. And it'd be awesome. Just excited to see the rest of them.
I agree. I think it's one of those themes where it really gives someone the ability to show what they love and who they are as an artist. And I've seen improvement in every single person so far.
Oh, wow, yeah. I mean, the improvement in all places tonight. I mean, I got to be honest, I was quite intrigued by Venom's performance, only because seeing her without a piano and seeing how she would react to that. And tonight, that blew my mind, because the way she performed, the sass, the attitude, and the focus on her vocal, when it came to her vocal, was just like, whoa, this is where she needs to be, 100%. But everyone, I mean, Riley's performance then, especially those last notes, absolutely mind-boggling. Now that's coming out to somebody so small is unbelievable. But everyone so far, what a step up we've seen. I can't wait to see what happens in the second half of acts now.
I'm so excited.
So excited.
The drought was the very worst. When the flowers lost the war and the sky turned black like a perfect storm. It came pouring down when I was drowning. That's when I could finally breathe. And by morning, gone was any trace of you. I think I am finally clean. Said I think I am finally clean. 10 months sober, I must admit. Just because you're clean don't mean you don't miss it. 10 months older, I won't give it. Now that I'm clean, I'm never gonna risk it. The drought was the very worst. When the flowers that we grow together died of first. The rain came pouring down when I was drowning. That's when I could finally breathe. And by morning, gone was any trace of you. I think I am finally clean. The rain came pouring down when I was drowning. That's when I could finally breathe. And by morning, gone was any trace of you. I think I am finally clean. Said I think I am finally clean. Said I think I am finally clean.
I think the song choice really suited you, and I like that you varied your voice in quite a few moments, especially the breathy notes when you obviously came to the end of this first part of the verse. You done that. I'm not gonna try and do it myself. You know what I mean? You know. I'm not gonna try and do it myself. Yeah. Again, the song choice perfectly suited you. Taylor Swift's one of my favorite artists. Shocker. But no, like you should be really proud of that performance. Your tone, you've got such a nice tone to your voice, especially when you went a bit deeper. I found that was a really nice tone to your voice, and I want to see more of that maybe. And I mean, I guess my only advice would be just a little bit more movement on stage. But I mean, again, another slow-paced song. What are you going to do? Maybe open up your arms to the bigger notes. But yeah, well done. Be proud of yourself.
Hayley, look, last week was a big moment for you because it was obviously the first time you ever sang by yourself. This week has definitely been an improvement in terms of your vocals. I think it was a lot cleaner. I think you were a lot more composed. I think there's still a little bit of work with nerves, but I mean, it's the second time you've ever performed by yourself. I think it's definitely heading in the right direction. You seem to be finding your sound, and it's a beautiful journey to watch, to be honest with you. I definitely think that was a better performance than last week. Your those little runs you had in the breathy notes was stunning. The last note was just heaven. And yeah, just keep trying to find yourself. Keep trying to work with Kaylee and them songs because it's definitely benefiting you. You've done really well tonight.
We're not expecting people at this point in the competition to come out and just take the roof off the building. This is not just a competition. A lot of people are aware of what Talent Search Cymru is. We're a development process. We find people that just need a little bit of rounding and a bit more confidence, and we help them turn into future stars. And again, like I've already mentioned this before tonight, for you tonight, this is a step forward again in terms of your comfortability vocally. From where last week we had a little bit of shake and the note and stuff, this was so much more improved. So you're in the right direction. The song choice was exactly what I can picture you singing. So you've got the right song there. It was emotional. In terms of how you present yourself, I think you're doing wonderful because you do look relaxed to me up there. You look quite comfortable. You can't rave from that stage anyway to that. It's quite a subtle song, but you was given a little bit of subtle movement. You were definitely working hard. Whatever you were doing, obviously I've seen a bit of what you're doing, but I can see you were 100% dedicated to this. It's like a switch in personality from the audition where we saw this girl that was kind of not lost, but hidden away in the duo to what we're seeing now. We are starting to see Hayley shine. This little diamond start to shine. This is the style of artist you are. You know, you've got this current sound, you've got this uniqueness in your voice, and slowly we are getting to see that build and grow and grow and grow. A step up from last week, but again, we still haven't seen that moment, but it's not expected yet. You're in the right direction. So keep doing what you're doing. You'll be really proud of this performance because it was a huge step up from last week again. Well done.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Next up for us tonight, can we please have the best of order and a massive round of applause up to the front for Charlie!
Tonight, I'm going to sing Die by Ed Sheeran.
Nice choice. This is a gutsy choice. It's a belter of a song.
Yeah, with that, just let you know, that I haven't been feeling good. I've got a sore throat lately for the last couple of days. I'm going to try and give it my best.
Yeah, just do your best with it, all right? Like I explained to you this in the week, that obviously when you use your voice in a different way to what you're used to, those things will happen. It will happen for anybody performing. If you're using a party range that you're not used to, the chances are you could get a sore throat from it or just an uncomfortable feeling. So that's understandable. Obviously, as your performance, do your best. All right?
Yeah, thank you. Maybe I came on too strong. Maybe I waited too long. Maybe I played my cards wrong. Oh, just a little bit. Baby, apologize for it. I can fall or I can fly. Here in your aeroplane, and I can live and I can die hanging on the words you say. And I'll be known to give my all and sitting back, looking at every mess that I made. So don't call me baby unless you mean it. Don't tell me you need me if you don't believe it. So let me know the truth. I die right into you. I can fall or I can fly, live in your aeroplane, and I can live and I can die hanging on the words you say. And I'll be known to give my all. So don't call me baby unless you mean it. Don't tell me you need me if you don't believe it. So let me know the truth before I die right into you. Before I die right into you. Before I die right into you.
I think you were pretty satisfied with your performance by the look you gave then. A little smile to yourself. No, that was definitely a step up from last week, to be honest. I mean, I think that song suited you a lot more than Another Love. That was the song you done last, Another Love. Yeah. Yeah, that song definitely suited you a lot more. Your tone really showed throughout, and I mean, I saw you in the studio, obviously. I know, yeah, you came on really strong, especially in the chorus. I like the way you obviously went for it, like you did in the studio. There was a little bit of a timing issue briefly, but I mean, obviously that happens. But I mean, you were pretty on it during the verses and during the chorus for most of it. So it means you're improving with your timing, which is obviously what we want to see.
Charlie, what I really liked about your performance this week is that you did get out your comfort zone. You took a risk and you've done something a lot bigger than what we've seen so far. Another Love was lovely, but it doesn't really go anywhere and it doesn't show your entire range. I think you definitely took more of a risk with this week. I'm not saying it was perfect. Obviously, you know, there were some timing issues. You lost your lyrics a little bit. But you know what? You've done really well in just progressing through it. Your timing is much better. It's getting better every week. And I don't know why we know that's an issue for you. You can't seem to get it. And whether you've got the words in front of you or we take them away, there's just something that's not fitting there with timing. But we don't know why. We'll figure it out. But it was much better than your performance last week. You definitely give it everything. And that's what I like to see. Someone going up there, taking a risk and doing something that is completely out of comfort zone. So for that, I give you a lot of credit. Well done.
So, look, I can't imagine you being happy with what you've just done, because I can see your face afterwards. But please don't beat yourself up, because this is what this process is about. It's about challenging you. I'm sitting here, and throughout that I was thinking, have I actually chucked him in the deep end too quickly? And until I actually see any of you getting up there when we challenge you to these things like using your voice differently or performing or whatever it might be, sometimes it doesn't pay off, because unless we see it, I don't know. So this has proven to me tonight that maybe we've bitten off too quickly, because where we're at with the song, like I told you, in terms of what you can offer to this competition and what you offer vocally, it is fantastic. You've got an incredible voice. I want you to know that. The timing thing has been a big problem anyway that we've been trying to fix. And tonight, I don't know if it was because of lack of concentration, but tonight was the worst timing I've ever seen of you. That's the reality of it. I've never seen it like that. But it takes nothing away from what your ability is and what you were capable of. What you need to do from this performance tonight, because look, I still rate you as a wonderful talent in this process. I'm probably at the top of this process in terms of your ability that's beyond all of this mess, you know? So I want you to know that, because I still rate you highly in this entire process, right? So please take that as a compliment. But what you need to take from tonight's performance is not coming off the stage and being disappointed with yourself because you didn't get it perfect. You've got to take it and think, do you know what? That should give me a kick to say I can do better. I can see that maybe what have happened tonight coming into it is because you knew that your voice wasn't 100%, which I did sense it in the beginning. I heard you a little bit when you was doing the belt, which we know you can do because you've done it in the studio, but I could hear that soreness in your voice. All right. So what you need to take from this is that, look, I've just pushed myself a little bit too much. You came in tonight thinking about that sore throat and it threw you off with your timing. I think that's where the pattern went tonight, and it was just throwing you off because you were so focused on making sure the voice comes out right that your timing was put to the back then, which makes sense because ultimately it's our voice that needs to be perfect first. So you was in an uncomfortable position. It doesn't take anything away from what you were capable of. Please be proud, because again, that song choice to me, it still shows us that you can push yourself. And that's the improvement of what we saw out of that tonight. Even though it wasn't perfect, it still showed us you got a lot more behind what you've shown us so far. So well done. Be proud. All right. Well done, buddy.
This is a story that I have never told. I've gotta get this off my chest to let it go. I need to take back the light inside you stole. You're a criminal, and you steal like you're poor. All the pain and the truth I wear like a battle wound. So ashamed, so confused. I was broken and bruised. 'Cause now I'm a warrior. Now I've got thicker skin. I'm a warrior. I'm stronger than I've ever been. In my armor is made of steel. You
and step up again from Wrecking Ball.
Thank you.
So yeah, with that song, it's a very powerful song, and I feel like you've done it justice there and then. I mean, you definitely went for them notes, you hit them, you were loud. I mean, powerful. Such a small person, you belt out massive notes. So fair play.
I think you done it justice. You sang it lovely. I liked your light and shade in there. You know, you used your falsetto, it was lovely. I think what it is with you is obviously you're still young. And I think you've got so much of a voice. It's so big and so powerful that I think at times it's just a little bit shouty. We need to learn to control that a little bit better. But apart from that, I think it was a really good performance. And I definitely think, you know, it's not that you haven't got talent. You're an incredible singer. I think it's just working with us to make sure that you understand how to control it, because it's just so big. But you're definitely on the right path. Well done.
In terms of the vocal, what was happening then was with the mic, so the loudness situation and the quiet is again reverting back to what I mentioned when I came in briefly in the studio, and I said about make sure you don't lose volume. So what was happening, your verses, you was losing volume because in your head you was like, this is soft. And like I said to you then, even though you're singing softer, it doesn't mean you got to lose volume. You still need to be full there. And then on the louder notes, you need to be able to come back from that mic. So then what happens then, it doesn't come across shouty, which is what Lily picked up on. It was because you stayed here for the whole duration of the song. And what happened, the louder parts got loud, too loud, and the quieter parts just went there. So it was up and down. So it's just about mic control, all right? Just keep an eye on that, but I can assure you that you're heading in the right direction. Please be proud of yourself, all right? Beautiful work. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well done, girl. All right, guys, we are ready for the next performance. So can we please have the best of order and up to the front for Madison. Round of applause, guys.
I'm going to be singing My Hometown by Eurovision Saga.
Madison, Inspired Artist Week. I understand you've learned a complete new song this week. When you first listened to the song, how did you feel about it?
I was scared of the thing at the end, but yeah.
It's a big song, a big song, a very challenging one. But I think for you, it's probably the right time to be coming out in the process and taking a little bit of a risk with this, right? So you ready for this?
Yeah.
Give it everything you've got now, all right?
Okay. All by myself, with this great big world before me, but it's all just for someone else. I've tried and tried again, just to let you know where my heart is, to tell the truth and not pretend. All I needed was to get away, just to realize that I was meant to stay. Where the mountains sing, the streams are singles, where the wheels can live, 'cause the gentle people in my hometown, my hometown. Lord, I made it clear, do I have to say it? It was always there, we just didn't see it. All I need is you and me, my home was Memphis. All I need is you and me, my home, my hometown.
That was by far your best performance and a massive step up in my opinion. And it's something different. I mean, obviously you've done Olivia Rodrigo's driver's license last week. This was a complete different song, and I feel like you just absolutely nailed that. Like, fair play. When Joey picked that song, I was like, that is a very hard song with a lot of big notes, but you've definitely done it justice right there on that stage. You should be very proud of yourself.
That was such a good performance, and what a step up. I agree with Declan, that was your best performance to date. I think the song choice was just perfect for you. And you said you were nervous about that last note, and I couldn't tell, because you just slipped into it effortlessly, and it was beautiful. Your breath control on it was fabulous, and it was just a standout performance for you, I think. It definitely put you on the map in this competition. Well done.
Madison, you should be really proud of yourself. Again, like I've said earlier on to one of the other performers, that at this point in the competition, we expect development. That's what we're seeing. And tonight, you've just proven that. From this girl that came into the audition to this, what you were showing us on the stage, the way you're dressed, you're like a proper little star up there. Your hair looks absolutely stunning with there. The way you presented yourself with the song, you look more relaxed than we've seen you before. The only thing was a little bit of mic control. Now, where I've said to Kelsey about having it too close, Madison got it too far. But that's another thing you'll pick up in terms of what we heard, and we heard literally all of the song. It was just a little bit quiet in places. The way you controlled that and the way you dedicated and took that on last minute like that when it was put on you in the week, I, honest to God, all applause to you, because sometimes these risks don't pay off. And tonight you proved it did. This is the sort of song I see you singing as an artist. Once you start to grow and develop, you've got this beautiful range, this beautiful tone. You need to be really proud, because that is exactly how Madison should be seen. And it was amazing. Be really proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Well done.
It's time for the judges to make their decision.
Right then, guys, so we are looking for our top 10. Right, tonight was strong, and to be honest with you, you're probably looking at all these faces and you're thinking, I can't say any of them. But there is definitely some that, unfortunately, somebody's got to sit at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. So, Lil?
For me, I think this one, I just feel like they maybe step back a little bit this week in comparison to all of the others who really brought their game.
Yeah.
I just think there needs to be more.
I 100% agree. What about you, Dan?
I'm actually agreeing with you before. I feel like there's a bit of digression this time. I mean, there was elements where they had improved, but sadly had the consequence of other parts of the performance.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're definitely bottom for the time.
Yeah. Do we all agree on this one, this one, this one to talk to?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
All agreed?
Agreed.
You sure out there?
10%.
Then
Yeah, I'm sure.
let's have a 3 to speak to. Alright then, let's do this.
The judges have made their decision. But first, let's have our special guest.
The young girl that we're going to present to you tonight, again, like I mentioned earlier on, she won the competition a few years back when she became 11 years old. And she became our youngest winner still to date. And there's a reason for that, and you're about to see that. When this girl came into the competition, she was a very sweet, very, I wouldn't say shy, but she was sweet, and she had this beautiful tone, and it was just beautiful to listen to and watch. Now Lacey has gone on to do some wonderful things since then, obviously being part of The Voice Kids in 2022, which she done really, really well in the process, and she's got lots of different things coming up to look forward to. So guys, without further ado, can we have the best of order and a massive round of applause doing something really sweet and beautiful for us tonight. Up to the front for Lacey LB!
Living easy, living free. She's a ticket on a one-way ride.
It's time for the results.
Here we go. A round of applause for all of them as they're coming up to the stage, guys. Can we have all the contestants up to the front? Woo! Woo! All right then, so first of all, I just want to say we've seen a step up again in development, and it blows my mind because if we're seeing you all do this at this point, it's kind of like everyone in the room needs to look forward to what's going to happen next week or the week after, and as we get closer to that finale. But we have got to make a result, all right? So, the same as last week, I'm going to be calling people through to next week and safe. But remember, there's no particular order. So there's no first, second, third or anything like that. There's no particular order. I'm going to be calling the names through, and then we will be left with 3 people on the stage, and that's when we will come to the result and make the decision. All right, in no particular order, the first person going through to next week's theme is Haley. Joining Haley in next week's theme is Madison. Going through to next week's theme is Venom. Joining them next week in the next theme is Laura. Joining them next week in the next theme is Grace. Going through to next week is Riley. All right then, so we got 3 of you left on the stage here now. We've got Josh, Kelsey and Charlie. There's 2 more safe positions, but just before we come to this now, obviously I just want to say a massive well done to all 3 of you on everything you've brought so far this series. This isn't easy, and I'm sure everyone in the room can agree that even the 3 we have here on the stage is talented. All 3 of these have talent. Josh, Charlie, Kelsey, you're all talented. I'm going to come to Kelsey first. Kelsey, in terms of what you've done tonight, you've shown us, like we said in the comments, that you're improving. That's what we've seen. One thing, like I mentioned to you on, take control of your mic control. When you come up to the studio, maybe do a bit of practice of that and sort of stuff so you can get comfortable moving it back and forth. But in terms of what you've shown us tonight, we don't believe this is your time. So well done, you are through to next week's theme. Congratulations. Here we go, final results. I'm going to come to Charlie. Charlie, again, what you've done tonight, maybe, like I mentioned earlier on, maybe what we done, we bit off too much too soon. And that did add pressure to you. It works for some people and it don't work for others. Of course, using your voice in a different placement to what you're used to, it is going to be pressure. And that's what we saw tonight. Now, in terms of what you offer in the competition, like I've mentioned earlier on and before, I do think in terms of what you can do as a singer, if we can get this timing sorted, make sure there's no problems with any sore throats. If we can do these things, I generally think you'll be one of the standouts in this whole thing. That's how I feel. And that's the reason why you're not leaving tonight. All right? So a round of applause for Charlie, guys. Well done, buddy. Now we want to come to Josh, guys. All right then. So guys, again, there was no particular order in doing this tonight. Josh, I just want to come to you, and I'm going to keep it very straightforward and very clear. You're not leaving the process, all right? you are going through to next week. Congratulations, buddy. Now, guys, obviously, Josh, I want to come to you. In terms of what you've done tonight, look, for me, again, like I said, to me, I saw an improvement. And actually, I think seeing you more without a piano may help you get used to the stage presence. I know that's in you because I know you've done, gigs and little things like that. So you've got it in you to do it. Take it to ramp it up in terms of performance. Don't hold back. Even if you've got to shut your eyes for a second just to rock it out on that stage, you don't hold back. You've got everything to offer on that stage to take it apart. So please do it. When you go through this week, do it and show everyone in this room that Josh got attitude up and he can do whatever he wants and rock it. But well done. You are through to next week.
So this week, nobody leaves.
We will see you all next week. A lot of people have been waiting quite patiently. Some people already know what the theme is, but of course, I'll just make a further announcement on that. The theme for next week is up-tempo. This means fast music. No ballads, nothing slow. Now, I'm just going to further it out there. What we expect, for all of you to know an idea of what we expect. Like I pointed out tonight, you need to perform if something's up-tempo. So with all of you having to do that next week, we are going to expect you to rock this room, all right? Now, a lot of you are going to be like, oh my God, I'm not used to it. Oh my God, no, I can't do that. It's taking a lot of you out to the comfort zone. That is why the challenge is there. Because I can assure you, if you come out and succeed in your performance next week and just switch off, as you are walking up to that stage, switch off and go, do you know what? I'm just going to let it go. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. I can assure you, if you let it go and enjoy the performance, that will benefit you in future, no matter where you perform. It only takes that one time to let loose and relax, and your confidence will spark. It will spark. And I can assure you, because we've seen it over and over and over. So guys, have faith in yourselves. You got to know the judges so far in the competition. You got to know the team. Come up here and blow that stage next week, all right? That concludes tonight, guys. We will see you all next week for Up-Tempo Week. Well done, everyone.
Tune in next week for Up-Tempo Challenge 2.